Many people don't know or have even heard of Fragile X. I am a carrier of the Fragile X syndrome, which is the number one inherited form of a learning disability, which is linked to autism, ADHD, and other learning difficulties, behaviour issues, or even some underlying medical issues. But I was told at 11 years of age that I was a carrier. And obviously I'm a 90s kid, so no one knew about autism, no one knew about even dyslexia, really, especially ADHD. So I never told anyone because I didn't really understand it myself. The X chromosomes affect men and boys more than women, so women do get a lot misdiagnosed, or there's a lot of misunderstanding. Obviously I look normal and I'm okay, but when it comes to maths, I still don't know my times tables. I get my 3s and my 6s mixed up. I was very good at English, but shocking at maths, shocking. And again, everyone's different. Some people that have got them are really good at maths and not very good at putting a Word document, or not very good at, spelling. So everyone's so different. Fragile X is a very interesting one because there's just not enough awareness. But I did disclose it to my employer, and I wish I never did, because again, it's another stigma. People just assume that you can't do the job, and no one actually asked me how I needed help or support, and that definitely impacted my mental health massively. So that's why I want to spread awareness, and we're all different and we all just need different support instead of making our lives more difficult. And life is difficult as it is.
Yeah. How does it typically present itself?
So it's very different in men and women. But because you have to have the gene in the family to have a test or a diagnosis. So my family, they knew that they had Fragile X because they got tested in Australia. And then me and my family, so my mum and my brother, got tested, and we're also carriers. But I've got, just because I'm so special, I've got Fragile XE. So I've got another letter. Sometimes I forget about that because I'm dyslexic, just to make it more difficult. Even harder to diagnose, harder to actually pinpoint what that looks like. But genetically speaking, boys do generally have the X chromosome, because women have now I'll get this wrong because I'm dyslexic. Men have X, Y, and women have XX chromosomes. And that's women can mask and kind of hide our symptoms, which could be social anxiety, to not being able to focus, or not finding it really hard just to learn reading or writing. Whereas boys generally speak a little bit more delayed. But again, everyone's different. Everyone's brain's different. So that's why it's really hard to diagnose, because not everyone's the same. And actually, I look normal, but if you stop me in a day, go to Lidl and buy just your essentials, I'll come back with a canoe. That's just the way I live.
I guess some of the symptoms overlap with autism, so it's even harder to diagnose.
Exactly. And I think example, my GP recently didn't know what Fragile X was, didn't read my medical notes. I explained to him that I'm waiting for an ADHD diagnosis, and as we know, there's a massive waiting time for that, because I think more people are realising that they're on the spectrum than not. And he just said, well, I just don't know what it is. I was brilliant. Really glad that I had this diagnosis at 11. So awareness, education, and understanding that we're all not all the same, but we've all got very different capability, and that's, we've got amazing strengths, and I'm sure you're so good at different things, and I'm probably rubbish at other things like maths, but that's what makes us unique. And I think instead of having these invisible barriers, we need to work together and thrive.